have my sublimation image that I'm ready to press onto my shirt. I'm gonna press this first, and then my name is Sean, and in today's video I actually have a SVG image that I'm going to be putting on sublimating onto a t-shirt with a rhinestone overlay. So it'll be a sublimation and rhinestone t-shirt, but this image has a lot of layers, so I'm gonna have to kind of break it down layer by layer to get my image where I want it to be, so I could create first my sublimation image and then my rhinestone template. So I'm gonna walk you through that process. This is actually a shirt I'm gonna be making for myself. So I figured since it had so many layers, I would show you all how I'm going to create this shirt. Now, before we jump into it, if you don't mind, I would appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe to this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So now let's go ahead and jump into the video and make these images. So I am in Silhouette Studio and I already have my image saved. So I'm gonna go ahead and go up here to File, Open, and this is the image. I have it at SVG and a PNG. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the SVG image. And this is the image here. First thing I'm gonna do is make my mat bigger. So I'm gonna make it the standard 12 by 12 size. And then I'm good with this part here is the wording that I'm going to go ahead and delete. So let me make my mat larger for you guys. And so I'm going to go ahead and select my image, right click and ungroup. So first thing I want to delete is the words, or are the words. So we got that done. Now the cards, the way it is, if I was to convert this image to rhinestones right now, it would actually be a lot of overlapping. And I'll show you what I mean right now. So see how that looks? There's a lot of overlapping going on in here. So I'm going to actually have to ungroup, and it's like a card by card or each layer by layer to get it down to where I need it to be so my rhinestones won't overlap. Because if you cut it like this, you're just going to waste flock and your image will be ruined. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually select that again and change it back, and I'm gonna make this bigger. And so we're gonna start layer by layer. So first thing with this image, I already didn't want this this gray background. I just wanted the spade and I want it to be white. So I was gonna already ungroup this part to move this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this off to the side, and then I'm gonna ungroup this part because I only want the spade. So then I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, and I'm gonna just put my spade off to the side. We will come back for that. And so I have this image here. I'm gonna go ahead and ungroup this. And so I'm gonna move this off to the side. And actually I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller, seeing that I'm gonna be moving all these layers around. And then I'll come here and ungroup, and that ungrouped each one. So really with this one, I want to ungroup. Oops. And see, really I wanted that other layer. So then I just have to position this one back into place. Then I'm gonna ungroup this one. and that's the one I'm going to delete. So I just want this line here. So this is what's this where it's open at. This is what's creating kind of that overlay. And then you'll see there's multiple layers on this one. So we'll come to that one next. So then this one, ungroup. Actually, that's the one that I wanted to keep. So then I'm gonna go back here and position this one back into place. Okay. So we have that where we want it. So this is the one that is going to have a lot of layers. So I'm going to ungroup. As you can see, let me zoom in. I didn't mean to zoom in that much. So as you can see, this has a bunch of layers here. And I'm about to break each layer down now to get it down to the one that I want, which is just actually this one. And I'll reposition that in just a moment. But I just wanted to show you how some of your SVGs can have a ton of layers, especially if you're going to be creating rhinestone templates that you just might have to, you know, break down, ungroup, or whatnot. And actually, let me see, because this is actually the size of the rest of them. So I'll probably go with this one. Yeah, I'll go with this one instead. Okay, so I don't need any of these. I'm gonna go ahead and delete all these, saying that I got the layers that I need. I'm gonna move my spade up here for now, and then I'll blow this back up. So now I just want to make sure I have everything positioned where I need it to be before I group everything together. And actually everything looks pretty good. And then I go ahead and put my spade in there. And that looks good. Just double checking to make sure nothing is overlapping. Nope. And then so I'll go ahead and put a box around all of them so I can group everything together. And so now I have the layers that I actually want to cut, and that way my template will cut out correctly without any overlapping. So then I'm gonna go ahead and get my sizing to where I want it, and actually I want to do my width at what was it, 8, and my height at 9. And this is going on a medium sized shirt, so that's usually especially on a large image like this, that's usually the sizing that I like to go for. And actually I need to ungroup this really quick, and I want to move down my spade just a little. Okay, so go ahead and group everything back. Okay, and I have my height and my width 9 by 8. So then what I'm going to do is open up another mat, come back to my image, and then I'm going to do a copy and paste. And I'm not going to change my sizing or anything at all. And then just make my mat bigger here. Okay, so I'm gonna select my image, and then I'm gonna go over to the right here to the rhinestone panel, or you can access it up top here in the panel section, rhinestones. In Silhouette Studio, your rhinestones will automatically default to SS10, so you don't necessarily have to select a size unless you're using something other than SS10. So the first effect is none. That's the image that we have. And then the next is edge. And that's what I want. And I don't see any overlapping. This one is a little bit close. I'm gonna move that one. And I just need to fix the spacing here. So I am gonna go ahead and release my rhinestones. And depending on the number of rhinestones, it could take some time. And as you can see right here, it automatically defaulted to SS10. So it's only going to take 441 rhinestones for this particular image. So I do have like this one here. I'm going to move over because it's touching. Just kind of going to go through the rest. I'm going to move this one just a little bit. Okay, these are touchy. Well, this one is, so I'm gonna move this one back up just a little bit. And this one here. Okay, so then here with my spade, and just move these over. At first I thought I needed to add one, but it was just kind of how when I converted it to rhinestone image, how it kind of spread out on its own. So I'm just repositioning this here to make it look more even. And I'm gonna bring this in just a little bit more. And that looks good to me. So I'm gonna just kind of go around one more time. I am gonna move this yellow one up just a little bit. Make sure those are touching. All right. And just check everything out one more time. Okay, so everything looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and select or put a box around my entire image. Make sure everything is selected and then right click, and I'm gonna group it back together. Now you will notice when you convert your image to rhinestones, it will get a little bit bigger. So remember my original image was, let's see, what was it? 8.001 was the width and the height was 9.007. Or I'm sorry, it's 8 for the width and 9 for the height. And my image went to 8.004 and 9.007. That is fine. You do want it'll automatically adjust the sizing on its own, but when you lay your image down, your transfer, once you create it on top of your actual sublimation print, you'll be able to still line it up. So you don't need to try and readjust your sizing here. So So then I'm gonna go ahead and move this because I don't want it that close to the edge. And then I'll get this ready for my machine. And then I'll send my sublimation image to my sublimation printer. So once I get everything printed out, ready to press, I'll show you the steps for pressing the sublimation image and then the rhinestone image, and then show you the finished shirt once everything's all done. So I'll be back in a second. So one thing I forgot to add, so you can see how your rhinestone template will look with your sublimation image. If you go to your actual template and do a copy and paste, and then you can bring it back to your sublimation image and just line it up over, and just to make sure everything lines up to your liking. So just a quick reminder for you. Okay guys, so now I have my sublimation image that I'm ready to press onto my shirt. I'm gonna press this first, and then I will go in and grab my rhinestones to put on top. So here, and this shirt is a V-neck, so I'm just kind of lining it up with that. And place it where I want it. And then I'm gonna just put 2 pieces of heat tape on each side, grab my butcher paper, and I do also have a piece of butcher paper on the inside as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and press that at. Okay, so now our sublimation image is finished. Go ahead and peel that off. That turned out great. All the ink came off of there. Then I'm gonna just grab my rhinestone transfer that I created. And then I'm going to carefully just place this right on top. And I'm using different colors than what are on the shirt. I just want it to be a multicolored shirt. You can use the exact same colors if you want to. And just line everything up. Pretty much I'm using the spade to line everything where I want it. And just taking one last final look at everything before I press it on, because it's going to be permanent. All right, so she is all ready. Go ahead and peel that hot fix tape off, and she is good to go. This is gonna be a really nice, colorful shirt, just how I wanted it. And so there is the finished shirt. Thanks for watching, guys.